connection and opportunity. All in one place. Come join the community. So text it now, don't wait in line. Back for life. 949298290. That's 94929.
Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to Office Hours, episode 894 or more, because we don't count all the episodes, whether we do or we don't. That's up to Gigi and I. But I count every Office Hours that we have these extraordinary co-hosts, the double B, Bart Berkey. Most people don't, and he's in the house co-hosting with me today, along with one of my business partners. The man is better looking than anyone else that I'm working with. Look at that tan. He doesn't even live in the sunshine. Nick Agarkar, my brother, how are you?
I'm great, man. It's nice to be, as someone called me, ambiguously ethnic, because I just go outside and get to it. It's fantastic.
I'm ambiguously very ethnic as well. But I got a quick question before we bring Phil Cohn on, who's waiting in the green room. Living in the Northeast, as we all have, and some of us still do, how many effing Phil Cohns do you know? I got 7 in my phone.
I mean, it could be a Rolodex at this point.
Exactly. Oh, you got 4.
I got at least 4.
We're over 1 million of Phil Cohn, so that works for us today. Let's complete it. Bring on the co-founder of SimpliFiber himself, SimpliFiber.com. Welcome, Phil Cohn.
Hey, how you doing, guys? I'm a new Phil Cohn for your
new Phil Cohn.
And new Phil. I love it.
I love it. Well,
it's really great to be with you guys. Really big fans of the show and excited to dive in today.
Yeah, we're excited too, because a lot in my life has revolved around in my effort to substitute plastic. I believe entrepreneurs are going to save the world, and one of the ways they're going to do it is they're going to figure out how to turn plastic into food. That would solve a lot of problems, and I know that it's absolutely possible. But you're on your way, in my vision of SimpliFiber, is approaching this cost parity with conventional materials without sacrificing the performance that plastic gives us. And that's so right. You created the true factory of the future. I think someday we can use your factory of the future to turn plastic into food. But for today, it's in a different application. And you've raised quite a bit of money to complete your Series A as well. Give me an idea what SimpliFiber has been able to do that a lot of people don't. In fact, most people don't believe that you could do what you've done.
Yeah, absolutely. And again, thanks for having me. Well, I mean, SimpliFiber is a new manufacturing method and a new family of materials. We create materials. We start with a cellulose base, and we've taken cues from the plastics industry to rise to very high levels of scale very quickly. So we're creating our materials. They start as a natural fiber-based slurry. We vacuum this slurry into a series of molds. We apply heat, pressure, and out come shaped goods. So creating goods that compete against traditional textiles that are very soft and flexible, all the way up to goods that are very rigid and durable, competing against traditional plastics. So applications in the footwear industry and the automotive industry, with regard to the automotive interiors, both the structural materials and the A surfaces are all well within the realm of things that we can do with SimpliFiber technology. And I'd say one of the key competitive advantages we have, and sort of a slight shift of thinking when we were building the initial concept of the company, is that we started with cost parity with traditional plastics and traditional textiles in mind. I think a lot of entrepreneurs in the sustainability space, they don't really think about that until they have to. Maybe when they're
Right.
already engaging with the consumer or something like that, and they're like, hey, listen, like, if you want a big purchase order, you're going to have to compete against these traditional materials, textiles or hard plastics or whatever it may be. And we started with that problem in mind. And that's really why I think we've been able, excuse me, to unlock this level of funding, this level of interest in the company, and this level of partnerships we have in footwear and automotive and soon consumer goods.
Double B, Nick, which one of you two is most?
Yeah. I mean, listen, just looking at your background, I mean, what haven't you done? Take us through how you got to where you are. That's
I mean,
what I love.
And thank you for your service, Phil, by the way.
Yeah.
Nah,
absolutely.
of course. It was a pleasure. It was an absolute pleasure. I mean, I thought it was such an honor to serve this country. I know we're coming up on 250 years of being a formal United States, and I think it's fantastic. It was an absolute pleasure. But yeah, Nick, that's a great question. But I feel like there's really not much difference between me and anyone else. I feel like I've been served a series of questions throughout my life, and I've said yes a lot of times. And the more I say yes, like, the more it leads me down these interesting paths in life. So, like, I don't know whether it's been like, semi-pro hockey, which I did before college, or I'm like, heck, Mom and Dad, I'm going to the U.S. Air Force Academy, and they're like, wait, what? And then it's like, oh, I'm done with my military service. Let's go to MIT Sloan to do my MBA or whatever, and let's start these companies. It's just like, I'm like, someone asked me a question and I go, yeah, okay, let's do this. Let's
love
do
it.
cool stuff with
Yeah,
some really cool
the only
people.
difference of, there's one thing to say yes, but it's willing to do what most people don't do, which is the work,
Right.
to give yourself the opportunity. So we'll give you a little bit more credit
Thanks.
than you give yourself. And I know there's nobody better to align us with what most people don't do than the incredible Bart Berkey. I can see you shaking your head. Yes, Bart, like, you got to be kidding me.
Wow. Yes. Thanks for the weave in. And Nick was on my podcast. We interviewed him last week. So
You lowered the bar. You
nice.
used to only let super famous people on your show. You've lowered the bar.
Yeah.
now?
Well,
Anybody now.
lower
It's
the
a white
bar.
boy.
And Nick was amazing. We'll publish it in a couple of weeks, but yeah, for sure. So no, Phil, I like to ask people about the passion. What is your passion? So your fourth venture-backed company, amazing. Air Force, incredible. MBA from MIT, fantastic. What is your passion?
I mean, I consider myself, whether people consider me this or not, I consider myself an artist. And what that means to me is I'm a creator at the heart. I wouldn't call myself a creative. I don't really like that terminology, but I feel deeply that I'm an artist and a creator. And so that's my big passion. It doesn't really matter if it's if it's working
Music,
on
healthcare, consumer, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't really matter though if it's like working on a piece of formal art, an illustration, or a song. I love music. Or if it's creating a new company, or doing something really cool with someone new. Like, all of this to me falls under my passion of being an artist and a creator. And I view the venture-backed startup community the same way. I sort of approach all these things in a similar fashion.
Yeah, we're all creators. And thank goodness the world has someone like you, Phil, that is creating something that will help the world and the globe. Awesome. Thank you.
Appreciate that, Bart. Wow. Thanks.
Yeah, we appreciate your humility. Well, and your accomplishments should not be understated. It's hard, I'm sure, to speak of them yourself, but it is true. And the people I've been surrounding myself with, like you, the biggest and the best. And business and the billionaires, millionaires, entrepreneurs, celebrities, athletes, and entertainers. What is most impressive is that desire that you must be what you can be, whether it is an amateur hockey player or a semi-pro hockey player, or serving our country. I can see the gratitude and appreciation for the options and opportunities and touches of favor that this country has afforded all four of us. And to represent that in our show just means the world to us. If you're interested in what most people said could not compete with plastic, what most people don't do, first follow Phil Cohen. We'll have him back on other shows. He's definitely part of our neighborhood.
Thank you.
Simplifiber is remarkable. He is living proof that entrepreneurs are going to save this world, and we need more of our Phil Cohen. The 11th Phil Cohen. I'm gonna have to get his cell phone so I can get it in my phone. The 11th. That's my lucky number, Phil Cohen. We'll see you when we come to North Carolina. You'll be invited, not obligated, to join us around the country. Congratulations on your future success, which I know is coming rapidly.
Thanks so much, gentlemen. Pleasure to be with you. Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you.
Phil.
What a great way to start the show.
Yeah.
Man, I'm not feeling good for Nate, but what a good tie-in to follow up that Phil Cohen. Nate Woodbury is here, and he's CEO at Be the Hero Studios. We got your next person to be in your studio, that's for sure, with Phil Cohen. Be the Hero Studios, theleafstrategy.com. And man, like I said, we're gonna have to refer Nate, Phil, to you. But welcome to Office Hours, episode 894 or so.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
We'll give you an idea about this Hero Studios, and understanding the competitive landscape and what it takes to build a brand, have leads in speaking, and understanding the advertising world. All of this is combining now in a studio or a stage that the entire world can access. What's the difference there in Lehigh, Utah, with Be the Hero Studios?
Yeah, well, I look at personal branding as having three different areas. There's the thought leader image, there's the thought leader messaging. Both are very, very important, and there's so many wonderful companies that help with those things. The third area is thought leader positioning. That's what I've really developed a strategy for, and I've helped a lot of people. What I mean by, because a lot of people think of the image as the positioning. I use the word differently in where are you found, right? And so somebody can have expertise where they're really good at helping people do something or achieve a goal or overcome a problem, but then they're unknown, right? They're invisible. They're not positioned anywhere. And so there's people all around the world searching for help, searching for answers, trying to overcome their challenge. And if you can position yourself as that expert in front of those people, whether they're doing a Google search, whether they're searching on YouTube or researching on ChatGPT, if you can position yourself in all of these places, then it opens the door for you to be able to help them. And the strategy I recommend is answer their questions, just teach them, just help them, and give them value. And so it starts to build that relationship of trust. So it's become a very, very productive strategy in helping somebody who just really genuinely has this ability to help people make the world a better place. And we help them dominate their category.
That's amazing. One of the things that I see here that you talk about is don't chase virality, which is kind of counterculture to everyone else, right? I mean, I've been told chase virality. You got to figure out how you can get a hook to go viral, right? Take a different approach. Talk to me about that.
Well, yeah, and it's so funny because even my clients, they'll have a video that will go viral, and I'm like, that's actually probably going to hurt your channel, right? Because what happens when something goes viral is it's being seen by the masses. It's like advertising on a billboard. Everyone that drives by is going to see it. But there's a much better approach if your goal is really to build authority and to build thought leadership, because there are people like I just shared a second ago, there's people online searching for help right now. And that is the valuable audience. You can go viral, have 1 million views, not have it generate a single lead, But when you can put your content in front of your target audience, the people that need you right then, you can have 100 views and generate, leads and $10,000 revenue or whatever that looks like for your business. I had a video that went viral. Okay, and I'll explain how it hurt me. I make a lot of content on entrepreneurship and YouTube strategy. Well, I made a video titled "Why I Hire People in the Philippines." My audience liked that video, but that video went viral in the Philippines for people that loved that I was talking about their country, loved that. Many commented, "Hey, can you hire me?" That video got 1.5 million views. And this was a few years ago before I was wise to this. I made more videos about the Philippines. And so over time, I added several tens of thousands of subscribers to my channel. Well, when I would post video on entrepreneurship or on YouTube strategy, this new audience was like, no, don't talk about that stuff. And the algorithm was saying, you need to make more content about the Philippines.
Okay.
So it took me years to redirect that. It really hurt. And so you don't want a video to go viral because it can pull in the wrong audience and kind of kill your momentum.
Interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. And Nate, just curious as well. You said that there's people searching for things, right? Searching for help, and you are helping the people that are the thought leaders to deliver it. What do you believe people are searching for the most right now?
Every single industry, I haven't found an exception. And search has gotten more valuable today. Think about whether you use Grok or Chat GPT. When we want surface level answers, we're getting them right in the tool. But when somebody really wants help and they need somebody with a bias, they need somebody with experience, what's amazing is these answer engines are directing people right to YouTube videos. That's the most common thing. They're directing people to blogs, they're directing people to Reddit, but most common is these YouTube videos. So depending on whatever your industry is, you can.
I'm asking you, Nate. What do you? What is the topic that most people are looking for help on now? Is it they're sad, they're depressed, they're uncertain? I want to start my business. I want to find alternatives for plastic. What is your sense? And I know it's a very generalized question.
It's what most people don't do.
Some of the industries that that we're really having success in right now. One is men's health and peptides.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
Another one, believe it or not, is annuities in the financial world.
Okay.
And so I'll have clients that come to me, and instead of me saying what are the topics that people are searching for, and then finding somebody, I actually find people and say, okay, what's your expertise? Let's dive into it and see what are people asking about this. So I've got an OBGYN that's getting 500,000 views every month from search, but I've got a politician coach who is, people are wanting to win a campaign or run an election, and he's dominating, the search on all these platforms now. So I'd say it's wide open. People are just using the internet to get answers.
All right. Very cool. Thank you, Nate.
Yeah.
Probably the most essential thing in business today is building a community. Asking for help is the fastest way to get to where you want to be, especially in building a community. It's people like Nate Woodbury at the Hero Studios that are helping so many people understand the competitive landscape and building a long-term visibility that's aligned with your divine direction, subject matter, topic, or expertise. He's leading the way for all of us to build that community, that neighborhood of people that want to help each other and know people to help each other, that will buy from us and sell for us for life. The incredible Nate Woodbury, thank you so much for joining us. We look forward to using the Hero Studios to build our community and work alongside the best. Thanks, Nate, for joining us.
Yep. Have a good day.
Have a great day. Nate the Great with Nick the... No, I won't.
No. That's
Nick,
the opposite of the book, right? Isn't it?
Nick looks so happy, I got to tell you. And Nick does
All
not
right.
like to take compliments. I learned that rather quickly.
You guys remember Eddie Murphy in Trading Places sitting in the cell?
Yeah.
Remember what song he was singing at the beginning of Trading Places? When he
Was
in
it
jail?
Roxanne?
Roxanne,
Right.
you don't have to put on the red light. Roxanne McBride is here out of Toledo, Washington, not Toledo, Ohio. I was hoping Toledo, Ohio, because I'm from Akron, as you know. founder and CEO at Fiber Bliss. We got a lot of fiber going on today. Fiberbliss.com, powered by whole fruit powders for both flavor and nutrition, and giving us a balanced blend of soluble and insoluble fiber, which is missing today in most people's diet. This is no fake stuff, just the real deal when you're dealing with Roxanne. Roxanne, welcome to Office Hours, episode 894 or more. What a blessing it is to have you and Fiber Bliss in the house.
Yes, thank you for having me. I'm excited to tell you more about what we're building here in Fiber Bliss and the problem we're looking to solve out in our communities, local, and as you mentioned in the prior guest, globally as well. So
yeah, fiber is a big issue, right? I mean, you talk about feeling bliss inside and out from fiber. Why does fiber give us this bliss?
Because it's the nutrient that is a catalyst for the rest of our nutrients to work. And so part of the reason it's getting a lot of visibility right now is we've learned through the protein craze what protein without fiber can do versus what protein with fiber can do. And that comes as a surprise to many that we've seen certain cancers younger and younger because of high protein and not enough fiber to clear it out of your system. And so the unfortunate truth is it took us a while to learn it. And then there's other things that are commonly known for fiber, which is diabetes management, helping stay full longer, eat smaller portions. All of those common things are still very true, but there's a new group of people on the hunt for fiber. And I'm excited to share my crossover story where I've had diabetes for a long time. And my doctors, I've tried all the medicine, GLP-1, very popular for weight loss. But my journey with them started much sooner, much earlier than that. And I came to the conclusion that while my labs were great and the scale and I became friends again, I didn't feel all that good every day. And I became unable to figure out why and took a sabbatical from corporate life and left Poppy, where I built their finance foundation prior to their acquisition from Pepsi. And I really needed to feel good, not good enough, but good. And so working with my doctors, they suggested fiber. And I tried everything. And when I mean everything, I mean capsules, tablets, gummies, powders that turn into a science experiment, chia seed pudding, which breaks my brain and I can't do it. And so I tried powders and a lot of them had sugar or dyes and other ingredients that I don't eat myself at all. And so I got busy trying to solve individually the things I didn't like about what was available. And the culmination of that is Fiber Bliss. So we've got whole fruit powders. I've got the freeze dried is the format that we use to retain the most nutrition. No carrier to make sure that what I say I'm feeding you. And through this process, also discovered that by using real food, we're a drink mix, so we're a powdered beverage instead of a supplement. And while that's really exciting, is that means we're now available for SNAP benefits, and we're able to reach the 42 million American families that don't have access to reliable, shelf-stable, and consistent nutrition. And I'm on a mission, one fiber jar at a time, to close those food deserts and help not just myself feel better, but a lot of people feel better along the way.
Also helps you go number 2, Nick. And I'm going to start.
It does.
I'm going to start nicknaming Nick Fiber Nick, because he's the catalyst for business. You're like the fiber of business. You quarterback all the different components of the business. And I just have to admit, you also helped me go number 2. So,
fantastic. Is that what you're doing on the phone?
Yeah, because you scared the shit out of me. No, I'm kidding. Go ahead.
Roxanne, what you're doing is so.
No, you gotta say it appropriately. Roxanne.
I'm not people bar stories with that song.
Absolutely, we should have that on the displays. So what you're doing is so critically important, and especially solving problems with food desert. Take me through the educational problem you've been having, though, because I'm sure there is one. Because those folks, they don't look for this stuff, right? Because it really generally has been unaffordable. So how are you getting people to open their eyes and understand that this exists and is there for them?
You know, I would say community and culture is doing a lot of that for me. There's
Okay.
a lot of people and a lot of attention right now that with our high processed foods and the way we've ended up at the grocery store setup, 90+% of Americans are fiber deficient. And doctors are talking about it, friends are talking about it. People are seeking out options, much like myself. And they all had something I didn't like. Like I mentioned, the sugar, the amount of blueberries you have to eat to get enough fiber. I just can't chew that much in a day. And I am a sipper, so texture is really important. And with Fiber Bliss, we don't gel in your glass. There's no added sugar. So we've used monk fruit as just lightly. So this is a refreshing light flavor that reminds me of, summers where you take your fresh fruit from your garden and throw some water and some ice and maybe some sugar and blend it all up and eventually get a really nice, fresh fruit beverage. So this is different in a lot of ways and on purpose. And I think that what the wellness industry has unfortunately overlooked is the middle pillar of America. If you're not Four Coasts or Austin, you're kind of the last to know about better for you options. So we're building in reverse. My heart and really is in those rural food communities where you just don't have options. I live in one myself. I'm a little mountain town with internet, 400 people in a grocery store. So, we don't have a stoplight. And that story and that truth is more common, especially on this side of COVID, where people moved around. They decided to reconnect with nature. They decided to work online from home in as many places as possible because they suddenly could. But you end up with different grocery store experiences based on where you live. Yeah. And that gap is not something people even think about before moving. I mean, my husband and I left Washington as Washington natives, went to Texas for a while because he wanted to be a cowboy. And we did the thing, and we had an active cattle ranch, and it was a lot of fun, but I was not ready for how different a Northeast rural Texas grocery store is compared to Seattle. It's just not the same on so many levels. And that's where I learned what the average American really is up against. And that's why I'm formulating for them first. And it'll catch up in the metros. Sure, people there also need fiber, but we need to have shelf-stable options. Whether or not you're struggling to make ends meet, whether or not you're stable and just don't like going to the grocery store all that often, there's always a gap. And we're here to fill it in a shelf-stable, lightly sweetened, but completely natural way.
That's awesome. Bar Berkeley has no red lights either. It's only go.
No, thank you. It's only green. It's only green. Roxanne, very cool what you're doing, and thank you. And curious, you shared your personal story as to why you came up with Fiber Bliss. Do you have any, I'm not going to ask for a success story, but a happiness story of how you have seen your product help someone feel better, do better, get better?
Absolutely. So in my own experience, I'm no longer on injectable medications for diabetes. My A1C dropped over 1.5 points with 90 days of Fiber Bliss very rigidly. I'm very grateful that my doctor does extra lab work so we can speak intelligently about what is and isn't working instead of just making some static claims. So the other thing I've learned is that my friend, Amy, she was in our test group. We went from sampling little hey, farmer's market, I'm sending you some mystery powder in the mail. Trust me, it won't kill you. To she's buying and using our product daily. And just today on our catch up, she said, I've added you in daily to my regimen, and it only took 3 days to start feeling better. Wow. And so the thing that's really great about this exceptionally dense formula, we've got 7.5 grams total powder in our serving. A lot of our competitors have 9 to 15 grams of powder because of all the things they have to put in it to try to make it taste good or work to do something. And the thing I love about CPG is we're all competitors, we're all friends. There's a consumer and market share out there for every fiber product. And I'm not here to knock the ones that aren't for me. I'm just here to tell the world that I've created one for people like me who didn't find what they were looking for in the market.
Amazing.
Roxanne through Fiber Bliss she's combining operational knowledge with mission-driven approach to make a healthier nutrition options easier to access everyday people and everyday stores. What a great mission that is in today's world. Have a healthier tomorrow. Check out Fiber Bliss with 3 S's.com. What a great interview. Please promise us you'll come back and never quit, Roxanne. Keep the good work.
Absolutely. And quick shameless plug here. We're on shelf at Fresh Time. All
shelf
stores.
at Fresh Time.
We're on shelf at Fresh Time, available online, and we'll be launching in Kroger, Nashville shortly.
Nice.
And well deserved. Well deserved.
Awesome.
There will be no more problems in the number 2 area for Nick or I, because we will shop at Kroger for sure. Thank you for joining us. We'll have you back soon.
Thank you. Take care.
Great job. All right, gentlemen, we had 3 extraordinary friends come on to our neighborhood today, and I was curious. We're going to start with Nick Fiber Agarkar. No, what a great nickname. What's your takeaway of the day?
Oh, man, at least I'm not the enema. My takeaway for the day is yes, and be intentional. So say yes, but also you have to be intentional about what you're saying yes to, right? We had all these great guests. They've had some interesting career pivots. They've said yes to a lot of things, but they also had the intent and intention to actually do something of value and meaning to the rest of the world. And I think that's an important takeaway for all of us.
That was my Napoleon Hill training today.
Yeah.
Into action. So double B, Bart Berkey.
Yeah.
Most people don't. What do you got for me, brother?
My takeaway is just ask. There are so many resources out there. There are so many people that are doing great things. If you have an ailment, a challenge, a problem, just ask. And people are kind in giving because the world is abundant. David, you're a great example. Nick, you're another great example. I can list 20 more people that I just talked to today and yesterday through this community that are saying yes to helping because I am just asking. And it's brilliant. So thank you both. Thank you both.
Well, I love it. And for me, it's entrepreneurs will save the world. So if you're worried about any issues about the world ending or any deficiencies that we may have as human beings or the earth in general, just remember all we need is time. So as long as we give the earth time by recycling and utilizing sustainable technologies, we will give time to the Musks, the Gates, the Berkeys, and the Agacars of the world to save it. And I have all the confidence in the world, whether it be Phil Cohen or our friend Nate Woodbury, and of course, Roxanne, that we're in good hands. Our future is bright. Our bench is deep, especially here on Office Hours with my incredible 2 co-hosts, the double B, Bart Berkey, who you can catch at Bart at mostpeopledon't.com. And of course, Nick Fiber Agarkar, you can reach him as well at still crownpointtax.com. A great business partner, great friends. Most people don't, and we do. Here on Office Hours, episode 894 or more. I'm David Meltzer, and blessed to have such great people surrounding me. Remember, don't do business with dicks. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Gift coming to both of you.
You can do business with nicks, but not dicks. All right.
And gift coming to both of you.
Phenomenal.
Thank you. The free hats are my jam. All right. Just to close it out, Gigi, let's go through our schedule. We are on our way to Japan. Speeches, interviews, holding courts, their meetups in Japan. Come and meet us in Tokyo and Osaka. Anyway, then we'll be with Nick Saban, the best football coach of all time, in Louisville, Kentucky, with Matt Ebert. Then off to Chicago, Kalamazoo, Michigan, back to Chicago. Also, season 11 of Las Vegas in the win in the lobby at our SiriusXM studios. And of course, back to Newport Beach with Tim Story and myself. On the horizon, NBA Summer League, MLB All-Star Game, Fanatics Fest, Messi and the FC, Miami FC team. And of course, moving right along to London, the UK mastermind with the biggest names in the world. If you want to join me, you can email me directly. That's beloved. David means beloved. At D, that's my first initial. Meltzer is my last name. It means servant. Let me be your beloved servant. David at dmeltzer.com. Or if you want to be invited or informed of the over 200 cities we're in a year, informed and invited, it's the area code right there, 949-298-2905. Hey, as the jingle will go, why don't you hold on when I tell you to be more interested than interesting? Be kind to your future self, and do good deeds. Hey, hit it, Gigi.
Hey! 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 Oh, hey! Wanna know where David's gonna be? Get invites, updates, and community. When he's in your city, you won't miss a thing. Just text the number, let your phone ring, 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 ring. 949-298-2905. That's 949-298-2905. Hey! Events, connection, and opportunity all in one